games, my guy.
Boom goes the dynamite.
It's only a game. Why did you catch the man?
Hello, and welcome back to Games My Guy podcast, the esports podcast by fans for fans. My name is Patrick, Avery Kenny. It's good to have you all back with us, and this episode's going to be a little bit more of a in memoriam of, especially for Ethan. Ah, he's alive. Ah! Ethan, Doc Goose Butler. You okay?
No. No, I'm not.
It's been a trying time for all of us, but I think especially for Ethan. Ethan, which team is it this time?
Well, I'm wearing my royal blues from the Boston Uprising in honor of our fallen soldier who's left us, the sweet prince who we all love to say his name, the man who gets a sits-tay maybe, then falls off the edge of the map. He made his own shoes out of tinfoil and paper towels because he'd never seen snow before, and he wanted to go out in the snow. He squished up like a little chocolate pie and said it was like poo pie, and he fed it to fusions. Jerry has left the team. Okay, you made me say it. Okay? Jerry's gone. When I asked for Overwatch League news to help ease the tension of this week, this is not what I wanted. This is not what I asked for. Okay, I'm sad. I'm sad.
Jerry leaving Boston was not what I thought was going to happen. I knew Boston had it in them because just their track record with having like S tier caliber players is to trade them and to do something else with them. So I saw it come. I could see it happening, but I did not think it would happen this way. Jerry, I mean, the only reason that I got really into him was because Sideshow yelled his name when they were what were they were ranking the teams on Plat Chat.
Yes. Oh,
Jerry,
you're going with Jerry. He's just losing his mind. Like, how can you think Jerry would be a good player in the Overwatch League?
It's literally what put him on the map for me. And ever since then, he's just been a delight. He's proven time and time again that he is a star class player. He's in the rookie. He's in a very, very good rookie class. You know, him, Shockwave. Like, there's a lot of really good rookies that came out this year. But Jerry, he will do well. We don't know where he's landed yet, have we? He hasn't been made any announcements.
No, he put out a looking for team post today after the official post from Boston, which I appreciate him waiting to do that until after the official Boston post, which I've seen go back and forth. I've heard rumors. Like, I don't know where I hear these rumors. Sometimes you just hear things. I don't know if it's true. My mind's afraid right now. But I heard NYXL maybe. He could go to Dallas because they still need a hit scan player because they have Doha and Sparkle.
Yeah.
But there's places for Jerry to go. If he wants to stay on mixed roster, there's more places for him to go. If he wants to stay in a full Korean roster, go to a full Korean roster, there's places for Jerry to go. And if you sign Jerry, you're getting a great player, but you're also getting a great friend. You're getting a great sweet boy. Just look at him. When you look at that guy, it just makes you happy. Like, you don't feel sad when you look at Jerry. You just feel happy.
Never. I've never looked at Jerry and thought, man, I'm bummed out. It's always been super high energy, super excited to see him play. And Boston's going to miss him. I know you're missing him. And
I am.
This couldn't have come during a worse week. I know this has been a very, very stressful week for a lot of American people. I'm half American, so my family has been all up in arms about it. But it could have been a better week, and I'm sorry about that, Ethan.
I won't lie. I had to keep reminding myself that I am Canadian, and this election really doesn't. It may affect certain things down the line, but immediately it doesn't affect me because I am a Canadian citizen and I don't live in America.
Yeah,
but I have to say that to myself many times.
Honestly, it feels like we're all honorary Americans right now, just because it feels like we're all in this together. We're all watching,
refreshing that page over and over again, clicking on little states like John King, and be like, all right. The Beaufort County here. I don't know a lot of counties, and that might be one.
You know what? You're that sounds like a county. So
I
I
just
think
like
you're
when he
right.
goes to the board and he's like, just go over here and see it spans the small one. But look, if you look over here and then this one in 2016, but this one in 1984, and just like bouncing all around. Oh, it's a treat. It's helped me get through things, but not a lot.
Yeah, it's been an interesting time, but we're not here to talk about that silly stuff. We're here to get away. We're here to escape. We're here to be your escape, about from all that shenanigans. Let's get into some hot Overwatch League hot goss, if you will.
The tea is scalding.
We literally before recording today, Ethan sent me, I hope everyone solidifies all of their roster changes before the podcast so that we can just talk about them, because like Plat Chat, and I'm not gonna link ourselves with Plat Chat because we are not linked with them whatsoever, but they also make this comment all the time where they just get finished recording and new stuff just happens to hit the the news on Twitter. So hopefully after today we'll have a lot of stuff covered. But one of the biggest things that I wanted to talk about was just Agilites, period.
Ooh, yes.
Thoughts?
Yes, please.
Because there's so many
Brooklyn
things.
Nine-Nine, just hummus. Thoughts?
Literally. Because there's so many different thoughts. Everyone kind of has their own idea of where Agilites is going. Ethan, what do you think about the whole Agilites free agent situation?
It's tricky because Agilities is quite good, but the heroes he's quite good at is a very small hero pool. So he's really good at Genji, but Genji might not be used as much anymore.
Right.
Doomfist, again, a very niche pick in this the way the game is right now. Pharah is seeing some playtime in certain contenders regions, but Echo seems to actually be counting the Pharah very well. So that's another thing. But he's also a really good Echo. So he's a very niche player, but he could bring a lot of value, not just player wise, but marketing and fan engagement wise. He's a very popular player. So if you want to immediately bring some fans to your team, signing Agilities is a good call because he can fill certain roles. It's just there are other players. The only rumor I've heard about where he's going really is from another podcast called Ready Set Pwn. They're really good. If you guys haven't listened to them before, they're a really fun podcast. They cover mostly Vancouver Titans and Toronto Defiant. But they've said that they heard that he's going to the Titans, to be honest.
Interesting.
Which does make sense in a way, because the Titans have an opportunity right now to build a super Canada team. They already have 3 Shredlock.
Rolf is staying.
Yeah, they have 2 Canadian players right now. They could literally fill their entire roster with only Canadians. But they need Dalton. Dalton has to stay. Shockwave would be awesome to say too, but there's one Canadian hitscan player. His name's Surefour. You may not have heard of him.
The old retired guy. You never heard of him.
Yeah, we don't know what Surefour is doing. He hasn't said shit. He's probably not going to play again. But you know what? We still hold out hope.
Yeah, one day he'll show up for an All-Stars weekend or something like that.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's like Avatar. He's just, when the world needed him most, he vanished, and then 100 years from now, he'll just show up and beyond in the Overwatch League and save us all from ourselves.
Perfect. I'm excited for the day when we get older gentlemen in esports. You know what I mean? Because we're headed that way anyways. I want to see. I know you there was a player you liked on the Toronto Maple Leafs in recent years who was and you made the jokes that he was just here for his kids. Ron the Ray Gun Hainsey, the 39-year-old phenom from Connecticut. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I've always loved that. So I just want to see a dad just rolling up. I sorry kids, I got a match. He's rolls up to playing Overwatch. He's got his kid in a stroller in the scrim room. He's got a little headset on it, so it doesn't. Yeah.
In between matches, he's helping his kids do school online. That's the kind of guy that I want to see in the Overwatch League.
Same here. We need more of it. We need some elder statesmen.
Yeah, if only Seagull stayed, that would have been cool. But yeah, I mean, Agility is going over to the Titans. That would be kind of hype. I know the Titans are looking for any semblance of making a team identity for themselves.
Yeah.
So, I mean, putting in a player like that would be a good idea, a good place to start, especially getting your fan base back on board.
Yeah, they have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, just through everything that the Titans have gone through, their fans have gone through as well. And, you know, I know you are very aware of fan fatigue. You deal with it probably on the daily basis with the teams you choose to cheer for.
This is the life I've chosen to lead.
Yeah.
And the life I've chosen involves teams that I think respectively finished like 20,
respectively
20th, 18th.
Yeah.
I think my hot one, maybe my highest ranked team was like was the Valiant, I think. So they were pretty good, to be honest.
They were good. Yeah. They ended up
most of my teams were like in the bottom 5 of the league.
Yeah.
And then Toronto was like hovering in that area. So
respectively 20th place. You can hang that on your fridge, you know what I mean? Like they earned it. They earned 20th.
I don't mean to insult the Houston Outlaws, but the Boston Uprising did get more wins than them in the playoffs. So I think that's what really matters, to be quite honest.
It is. It's whoever wins when it counts, which is kind of like an allegory for Overwatch. Anyways.
Exactly.
But
yes, the Titans, I think, have an opportunity to fill their entire roster with Canadian, actual good talent prospects from contenders mostly. Like you could get Agilites if he comes in, that's awesome. But you can get Razor, Icy, and Zolik, all from Drifters in North American contenders, and they're all Canadian. So there's almost your support line filled out, your tank line filled out, your DPS line all pretty much filled out as well. But you could also bring in Note if you want a bit more veteran presence for the off tank. Mm-hmm. You could bring in Crimzo, which I think someone should bring in Crimzo. Toronto maybe, wink wink, nudge nudge, hopefully. But yeah, that's not about the Titans. I'm getting distracted. I have a whole thing. I have a whole spiel about wanting them to just be a Canadian super team. Will they win? I don't know. I just think it'd be neat.
Yeah, and it would be worth a shot. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad idea. And I agree with you. Crimzo, he's been around for a long time. He's proven that he's Overwatch League caliber. He just hasn't had the playtime on stage to actually prove it, you know?
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see if he gets picked up anywhere. Little cough. But yeah, so that's pretty exciting. Agilities is definitely something that I was looking at. I don't know. Are there any other big stories that you wanted to talk about?
Man, Halo on Twitter has been popping off with
Halo on Twitter.
Not the game, to be clear.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Aaron Halo Brown, the reporter extraordinaire who's breaking all these stories. He's said, and I'm just going to give a quick list and we can go through it all here. Mm-hmm. But Shu and Moth are going to be the Gladiators' new support line, apparently. Sanguinar and Muse are going to the Mayhem. We've got Yekpun coming back to the lead, joining NYXL as their new main tank. You got Pelican from O2 Blast hitting up the Atlanta Rain, so the birds will fly there because they have Hawk as well.
Yeah, there you go.
And the big one, though, is Fearless from the Shanghai Dragons going to the Dallas Fuel.
Now, I'll stop you right there.
I know. I thought this might come.
Because Fearless is already getting traded, and he's going to be on my team, the Montreal Smoked Meats. So
You're right.
So it's fake news. It's already fake news. I would have never expected in a million years that Fearless was going to get traded. Unless it was a mutual trade, unless Fearless wanted to leave or he wanted to find a new opportunity. This seems very out of left field, even for Overwatch League.
Yeah. I've heard it's because like with COVID going on, you're going to see some trades and moves that you might not have seen in like a normal off season. And like maybe Fearless, like you said, could have been a mutual thing where he's like, I'd like to move to a different organization. And he does have it's like I say he has history with this team, but it's been like 3 years since he played for Element Mystic, which is pretty much what the Dallas Fuel are now. Mm-hmm. Like right down to the coaching staff, everything about them is Element Mystic. They're gone now, Element Mystic.
Yeah,
Element Mystic, but like
they're
recreating in Dallas.
Yeah, they've been eaten alive by the Dallas Fuel,
and so it's not unheard of. But like, and I've heard the rumor is that Shanghai is looking to get Fate from the Mayhem because Muse is a main tank who's going to the Mayhem, apparently. And so if that happens, Fate's not a bad player, but like, man, Fearless was really good. He was without fear.
Yeah, Fearless, by the numbers, was the best main tank in the league. So like, and that like mostly because he played all the time. Mostly,
And his Winston is so good.
Exactly. So it was just, it's a very weird trade, and if it is because of COVID restrictions or because of the time that we're living in right now, then I guess that's the only way it makes sense, because I really thought Fearless was going to stick around at the Dragons. They found so much success with him.
Yeah, him and Void had some good times together. I thought, but man, it's like Dallas is making the right moves. If they don't succeed with like this roster, obviously depending on who they get for like main support and hit scan, the fuck are you doing? Like you're like Hastro is throwing money. He's like burning money here, like the endless fountain of youth and money that is the Dallas Fuel is just flowing right now. And like, if this doesn't work, like what's going on, man? I don't know what to say. Like this is a championship caliber roster possibly. Like you have to win with this. Like a Fearless Hanbin tank line, fucking Sparkle Doha and insert name here, and Fielder Repel and insert name here. Like it's just
they're stacked. They're stacked, and yeah, they're definitely posed to make some big changes in the next season. We'll see if it pays off. The Fuel, I mean, I know it's kind of rude to rat on season 1 Fuel when they had all of the hype being NV beforehand, getting completely picked up. We've seen this is a trend with the Dallas Fuel. We've seen this like whole taking over of complete rosters before. Will it actually prove dividends this time around? Who knows? We'll see how that happens. But yeah, Fate for Fearless is a very strange trade for me. I don't really understand it. But another really weird one for me is Moth. Getting traded. I don't see that happening unless it's a mutual trade, unless he wants to get traded.
The only thing I know Shots is one of the more successful teams in the league, obviously, because financially, because they keep winning.
Yeah.
Like they've made bank off. Ironically, though, this is a bit of a segue, but one of the more successful Overwatch teams in general is the British Hurricane in EE contenders, because they haven't lost a tournament since like last August. So they keep just making money.
Oh my god!
Off these tournament wins. They're just making bank, and so teams like that, like in the Shots, should have the money, but certain players on the roster may want more money. And so maybe Moth is also thinking, I have 1-2 championships here. Fuck it. I'm going to go. I like Space. And I'm going to go hang out with Space and play with Space on the Gladiators. So he has experience playing with Space. And and actually him and Shu both played for Toronto Esports at one point when that was a team. But I'm excited to see how it goes, because this could be what the Gladiators have finally needed. Because we love Big Goose and Chaz. We love them so much.
Yes.
Sorry
to see him go.
This is a bit of an upgrade, you would have to say. If Moth and Shu are the support line, that's a really good support line.
Oh yeah.
And depending who they get from tank, like their Gladiators could be stacked. Like their roster could be like, I think it's Kevster, Mirror, Birdring, Moth, Shu, Space, and insert name here, main tank. Just
and,
like someone who's good.
I'll just pick a name out of the hat. Muma, sure. Let's just put him on.
Oh,
there.
Good lord!
Perfect.
We want a Muma redemption arc. We do.
ever since you showed me that screen cap of all the pro players playing together, and I saw Muma's name, I was like, oh, Muma, oh.
Oh, sweet. Oh yeah, fuck! I forgot about the Paris trials that possibly got leaked. That one of them was.
Oh yes.
Pretty neat. Some players in there, and I've heard also it's going to be interesting to see if FD God stays, because I've heard he could go to the Shock. I've heard he could go to Toronto. Not as a rumor, but I know, I'm just saying.
Don't start with me.
I'm just imagining what your reaction would be if the Toronto Defiance signed FD God.
I'm getting a jersey. I'm getting an FD God jersey if he signs with Toronto Defiant. That would be the greatest thing that's ever happened. Because honestly, he could go anywhere. I put him and Moth pretty high up. Like I see them as very equal. in terms of their just the output that they put in for their position. So like FD God can really go anywhere. If he decides to go to Toronto, that'd be amazing. But we'll see. I really thought he was staying on Paris, and that was a huge bummer to see him getting traded.
I don't know if he's leaving or not. I'm not sure. It's
He-
just with the way their roster moves are going right now, like they're cleaning house.
Yeah.
And my thought process would be Toronto Defiance should pick up actually both FD God and Etsy, and then Rascal if they have the money. Because think about this team. Right? Well, the team I've just described to you has a DPS line of Logix, Etsy, and Rascal. Can you imagine that team in a double hit stand meta?
Yeah.
Fuck off! Everyone's gonna die, and then FD God and other people. Oh,
It would be good. It would be.
I'm getting too excited. I'm getting too excited.
I gotta take a breather.
I need a sip of water. Oh my god, I'm just thinking about it. Like, oh my goodness gracious me. That's a mixed rosters, which they've said they want to go for, and it's a really talented. Like Etsy's so good, and FD God too, and they have experience playing together. And Etsy has stated he wants to play on a mixed roster. He prefers it, so that's something that really is interesting to see what teams he to go to with that information.
Yeah,
Rascal, of course, is just come on. He's really fucking good.
Yeah,
every fan of every team's like, yo, Rascal should come here.
Get your sweet buns over here, man. We're having a party.
Come on. Great. Like, everyone says they want him to go in Gladiators for the Rascal and Bergren reunion, and so you can just hear him go like, Boydring, Boydring, just like freaking out.
Yeah, I could see it. I can hear it too, but I can see it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'll try and find you the video where I think it's just an excessive clip of just Rascal and Birdring. And it's just Rascal going, Birdring, Boydring, and then, Birdring, my name's Walt! He's like freaking out. And then just, Boydring.
God. Oh, my gosh. I love it.
It's so good. I love it so much.
I was also seeing that the Boston Academy team won a big game the other day.
They did.
Yeah, I saw your retweet about it.
Yeah, they've had a really hard time with the Academy team getting out of trials.
It's still hard.
Bonkers.
Yeah, it's still hard to think that they're not in contenders. Especially
considering just like they should have the money to give to players, but the team they have now actually looks really good. Like the DPS line's good. They signed a new main tank who's named Jakaru, who was actually in the trials for Paris. So like he could go there. They were talking about the main tanks in that trial, and they're like, man, they weren't very enthused, but like most people seem pretty positive on Jakaru, and so that he's Winston. He's probably one of the best Western Winstons. What people were saying, comparable because like a lot of time Western players are not as good as Winston compared to like APAC or Korean players.
Right.
And so Jakaru's apparently really good at Winston. I'm still learning more about him. He was on other teams like Young and Beautiful in the past, but
okay, cool. Yeah. And that's just like completely play style there too, right? Like the whole Winston gap was a huge meme like a year ago, but it's real. It is real. APAC is just better at that region just plays differently, and they play a lot more Winston versus
I was trying to think of like the best like NA Winston or something like that, and I was like, who the hell is it? It's like at one point arguably it was Muma.
Yeah, I was gonna say that but that was when Cool Matt was playing, I feel.
Yeah. And like Muma had one of his best moments this year though. I was saying even if he's gone, he would still have Muma's excellent adventure from this season when he was just like deep in the enemy back line, and it was just like it was Paris I think too, and he just fucked around in the back line. And he got a couple kills or distracted them long enough that they were able to cap the point.
Oh my god, Muma's excellent adventure. I forgot about that.
I wish I could have made that up, but no, that was like a Twitter thing. That was just like a beautiful moment from Muma this year, and then he's okay.
He's okay. He'll be fine. Yeah. Do you have any hopes and dreams for the free agents that are floating around right now?
My brain just hurts trying to just think of them all, to be honest.
No, that's fair. There's just been so much.
Yeah, like Erster's a big one that I think he could fetch a pretty price if he goes to the right team. I am a big Crimzo fan, so I'd like to see Crimzo picked up, but also Nero from the Guangzhou Charge. I'm pretty confident he's not going to be on the Charge next year just because of the way his Twitter's been recently. He could be fucking with us, but like he could be a person Toronto could also look at instead of Rascal. I'm just saying flex players, and because Nero is really fucking good.
Yeah.
So any team would be lucky to have Nero.
That's true. We'll see.
I don't know. It's hard to build a team because like the teams are so competitive. Because I've been paying a lot of attention to contenders.
Yeah.
Like primarily contenders Europe because British Hurricanes like the most is so awesome to watch because it's not even fun. It's fun for me. I can't imagine it's fun for the teams they face because like they just roll over them so fast.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's why I'm excited to see if the London Spitfire picks them all up, to be honest. Because I think that they'd have to fill one hole. I think we've talked about before, but like I'm so excited to see what happens with London Spitfire and Toronto. I've been racking my brain. I was at the dentist today, and while they were doing the shit, I was in my head. I was like, okay, who the hell is Toronto? As I was trying to distract myself, and I still had like,
Ethan, please rinse and spit. Shut up! I'm thinking about logics.
You know, if rascal comes in, that's just FD.
I don't know what your son. He just is like this. He won't answer me.
I'm catatonic. I'm just. I mean, I don't know what coma is. You visit me, all hear is
yeah.
If the astronaut comes.
The last things he said were, "Wake me when the Boston win their first game." and some say he's still there in that coffin.
I'm like Sleeping Beauty. I'm just in like a cave though, just like waiting.
Rosy
you show
cheeks.
Up, like, years later, like, old man, and like wake me from my eternal slumber.
Yeah, he kisses you. You open your eyes. It's Fusions. He's spent years trying to find you.
He's got the trophy with
the
him.
Trophy, a huge beard. He's 60 years old. Overwatch is no longer a thing.
You found me, bruv. Where I've been,
bruv. You were ordered to find in the sword in the stone.
I love how we've made Fusions though. Like super Cockney, like South London, when he has a very posh accent.
Yeah, that's true. I also do the same thing for Cruz, and he has a very posh accent as well.
I'll admit, Cruz more than Fusion gives me more of like the, oi, bruv.
Yeah.
Going to the pub, yeah? We're clearly experts at accents. He Patrick more than myself, but like, we're not great.
Yeah. Wait, we never said we were great at accents. That's true.
Our brand accent is exactly the same as Fusion's, as Cruz. It's just, oi, bruv.
Yeah, and don't point it out. Don't point it out ever.
No, please. We're sensitive.
Oh man, I just wanted to tie off this episode just with some news that I just saw, but it was posted a couple hours ago. Just because you were talking about contenders, the Gauntlet is coming back to Contenders Overwatch. I think this is a great idea, personally. Do you remember watching the Gauntlet back in the day?
Man, I literally last night after I heard, because they posted a tease last night. Last night after I saw the tease, when I was getting ready for bed, I was watching Atlanta Academy versus Runaway from last year. And just because I remember that tournament, everyone's like, oh, NA sucks ass. NA's going to be so poo. Because Europe kind of didn't live up to the hype either. But like, and SL2 did okay, but Atlanta Academy just slapped Runaway around for like 30 minutes and said, all right, let's go. But then they themselves got slapped around by Ellen Mystic. But still, it was a really cool run because everyone thought Runaway was going to just run away with it.
Very good. Very good.
I'm hyped, man. I am hyped. And it's different because like obviously COVID's limited things, but so it's like EU and NA, APAC is incorporating like Australia and stuff like that too, and South America and whatnot.
Yeah.
But essentially, you get to watch British Hurricanes slap a couple teams around for a little bit. It's really great.
Yeah. I think this format suits them a lot better. It's also, I feel like it's a little bit more financially stable just because going back to a tournament system versus a season system, I think will really benefit. And I don't know, I call me nostalgic, but I'm just excited to watch Gauntlets again. Like that's gonna be so much fun.
I know it's in December, this Gauntlet, and it's gonna be really cool to see how it goes. Like, because I've mentioned British Hurricanes slapping people around, but what if British Hurricanes all picked up at that point? Who are they fielding?
Yeah. And
so like there's a lot of questions to answer. And this is how I know Florida Mayhem's general manager Albert, I believe, already when he retweeted the the post. He said maybe we'll find our next prospect in this. It's just like, this is where the gauntlet was huge in getting players to the Overwatch League last year. Like,
it got
literally,
Envy. It gave Envy a whole roster slot. Like,
man, and like even last year though, like literally every player who's on Runaway in 2019's Gauntlet is now in the Overwatch League. Like every player, so Atlanta Academy almost as well. Like most of Atlanta Academy is now either played in the Overwatch League or is currently in the Overwatch League, like on Atlanta.
Yeah,
but I'm excited. Like I love contenders. I've really gotten into recently, and it's been really fun to watch, especially with all the way the world is in the off season. So it's fun to just watch upcoming talent and just say, oh, I'd love to see them on my team, or I'd love to see them on. I think they'd be great here. It's just great for theory crafting.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head where, with a gauntlet being so quick and like being so soon, it actually does give teams a chance to kind of see what other talent is out there and like see what contenders talent is out there. So this gauntlet, it not only is it a great opportunity for the players to have more exposure and move forward, but it also gives these big franchises a chance to see what the up and coming talent looks like and how they can change their team to grow, and like there's a lot of teams that can really benefit from having some young talent come in. Titans probably.
I was going to say, like, just the Titans' reputation. I'm a fan and I love them and I'd love to see them do well, but it did take a hit, especially in like Korean scene and how they supposedly were dealing with the Korean players. So they're not getting any of the Korean talent coming up. And it's what my understanding is. I don't know for sure, but so they have a lot to gain from watching the NA and EU teams in contenders right now. And
totally.
So I've seen like how they perform in the gauntlet.
Yeah.
But you're probably not getting Burst Hurricane, any of them, just because, like I said, Spitfire will shoot you before that happens.
Yeah, they own all of those boys at the computers.
True, and but there's other teams there, like Young and Beautiful I mentioned, or there's a new team fucking is just for this month of contenders. I don't know how long it's gonna last, but they're called New Kings. And man, the roster is literally just like an Overwatch League roster. It's Elvo and Lulsish at the tank line. Only God is in their DPS. I think Jofi and Afox are the supports, and it's just like those are like that's an Overwatch League team. Like it's what Bruce Hurting smurfing in contenders. That's pretty much what they're doing here too.
Oh my gosh!
So there's a lot of ways you can. It's just great for visibility for the players. I'm so excited.
Yeah. It's really cool to see the Overwatch League actually put something back in to contenders and like all of that, just because they've been getting so much flack about it, and this is a great incentive. I think it's a great start, honestly, for more contenders coverage and more contenders just being more visible. So I think that's really cool.
Yes, for sure.
Good. Any other thoughts before we close this puppy out?
I need the juice. I'm thirsty. The SU talk. This is not the juice SUC is talking about. I need me some juicy tea here. I need to see some. Give me some player signs. I know it's still so early, and I'm very impatient. But the offseason's so young still. But if you don't swoop up these players, you got to get the visa process started, okay, boys? You got to get that shit going early. So give me the juice. Give me who am I cheering for?
Yeah.
In like Boston and Toronto next year.
Yeah.
Like who's the Titans play? I need to know who I'm cheering for so I can start hyping them up. I need to follow them on Twitter, and there's so much preparation I need to do. Patrick's got to get his FD God jersey ordered before the season starts.
I want it for the opening day, please.
Yes, we need this to happen.
We need to know. We need to know. The world needs to know. We need to know. The audience needs to know. Hopefully we will all find that out next podcast.